Welcome to the weekly portion of Vayeshev. We'll read it once regularly, once with a melody of the Te'amim, and then we will talk about several grammatical issues. And today I also have a surprise for you. But let's start. And today I'll be reading in the traditional Sephardic melody, specifically a melody that was common in the Middle East. Vayeshev Yaakov Be'eretz Megurei Aviv Be'eretz Kenan, which is not my usual melody, which is Vayeshev Yaakov Be'eretz Megurei Aviv Be'eretz Kenan. Right? You noted the differences. These were two with a melody, so now we can do the reverse order of the usual and read it regularly. Vayeshev Yaakov Be'eretz Megurei Aviv Be'eretz Kenan. And before we move on to the grammatical discussion, I want to invite you to a party. We are holding a special Hanukkah Hebrew party this coming Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. for those of you who are on the Eastern Coast, and 6 p.m. that would be in California on the West. And if you're in Australia, it's 11 a.m. If you're in different places all over the world, you can do the math, I'm sure. We'll talk about the unique elements of Hanukkah, which you've never heard, I'm sure. Some of the less known stuff about Hanukkah. I'll also talk about the opportunity to join Hebrew Truth and join the courses of Hebrew Truth. Specifically, I'm opening a new class for the Book of Ruth, which is a very interesting book and a very interesting course. And I'm inviting all of you. The details are in the description of this video, the invitation for the registration for this party. Now, let's talk a little bit about the grammar. So, Vayeshev Yaakov, the root of Vayeshev is Yod, Shin, and Bet. This is a very common verb in the Hebrew Bible, more than 1,000 times in the Bible, okay? And it means to sit, but also to dwell, to remain. In this case, Jacob stayed, lived, dwelt in the land of Canaan, okay? Now, the name Yaakov, Yaakov. So the ayin, instead of having a sheva, as it would have in a regular verb, like in the name of Yitzchak, the father of Yaakov, where we see the sheva under the tzadi, the ayin, being a guttural letter, takes a reduced vowel instead of a sheva. And not only that, it affects the vowel preceding it. So instead of having a chirik here, we have a patach. So we have a reduced patach, a chataf patach, instead of the sheva under a guttural letter, in this case an ayin. Okay, so the ayin takes the reduced patach, and then the vowel preceding it also turns into a patach. So that's Yaakov. A little bit about the morphology of it. Now, the original first root letter, we said that the root of Yashav or Vayeshev here is Yod, Shin, and Bet. The original first root letter is actually a Vav, and we can see it in some forms of nouns or verbs related to this Vayeshev. And we also have an opposition here, Be'eretz Megurei Aviv, Be'eretz Kenan, which is redefining or renaming the same word, the same phrase in this case, the land of the sojourning of his father, Eretz Megurei Aviv, and similar to that, redefining that, renaming that is the opposition, Be'eretz Kenan, which practically means that this equals this, or roughly equals, we can go. Okay, so the land of the Canaan roughly equals Eretz Megurei Aviv, the land of the sojourning of his father. And that's it for this week.